get my air guitar out. Track announcer Chris Griffin joining you here for Out of the Gate as we get set to kick off this Monday afternoon of live racing, but it's Monday morning right now, and joined once again by Philly Boy.
Yes, sir.
Rdesinski. One more time here. He joined me here on a previous live show where we were handicapping, talking about a few races, but happy to have you join us, and we're going to talk about all 10 races on the card. You've handicapped it. You've taken a look at the entire sequence. Were there some races that stood out, though, to you initially as you kind of handicapped these 10 races?
Yeah, the 8th race, we'll be getting into that a little bit later. We have a little bit of a replay to show you about my top pick. I think that might be the best race of the day. There's a good competitive card all the way through. You
said you were focusing last time. You're looking at some doubles and pick threes. Did you take the same approach here to the card this afternoon?
I'm going race by race today, trying to play it a little bit more simple. There's some good prices around the card and some good connections that win. So
so we did get some of the scratches, and I'll go through those scratches, full scratches and changes as we get closer to first post time. But we've got a nice package here later on that we're going to show a feature on Abner Adorno. We'll get that to you later on in today's show. But let's get it underway. Andrew, once again, happy to have you join. First of all, where can they join you? Where can they follow you before we get started?
On Twitter at PhillyBoy415. You know, I give out my Parks picks every day. And always welcome to have more people follow.
Starting to see more retweets and likes, my man. Good job. All right, race number 1, 1 mile and 70 yards. It kicks off that early pick 4. It's a 50-cent minimum. Fast main track here this afternoon. As it's a little chillier outside, but you are seeing a dry track. Didn't catch too much moisture over the weekend, so looks like a fast main track. We'll see. It was playing very fair the last couple weeks as well. This is a maiden race. We're going to scratch number 4. Where did you go is going to be scratched out of the first. Where did you go in here?
I went to Uriah St. Louis on the 6 horse. It's going to be the morning line favorite. Dexter Haddock is riding the horse. I think this horse ran a really good race last time out. Hung a little bit late, but with experience, that horse should get better as a 2-year-old filly. And then my second choice was Just Happy out of a Run Happy. Ruben Silvera, Jamie Ness, those connections, they win often. And this horse is actually improving and is coming in from Churchill Downs, and Jamie Ness, first-time trainer. So all those connections, they print tickets, you know, they win. So.
Yeah, let me ask you about those Run Happies, and I kind of felt like this because that's my top pick, but I felt like the Run Happies, I think they are improving with distance. I mean, he was known as a sprinter, but they're able to handle the 2 turns.
Yeah, and I think as they get older and they get more experience and whatnot, those Run Happies, they just come along a little slower than normal.
Yeah, we've seen these horses too come from Churchill Downs. I will say Golden Essence, you take a look at that horse, it seemed like they were sprinting. They wanted this horse to go 2 turns. The horse is by Super Saver, so she's going to relish the move to 2 turns once again. She's going to be a shorter price this afternoon. You're not going to catch the same price you had. But Dexter Haddock, he's been riding very well as of late. Taking a look at race number 2 as we move on, and if we can leave those picks up just a little bit longer so I can keep an eye on those selections, leave those on the screen for me there, guys. 1 mile the distance here, 12.5 non-winners to 2 lifetime in here, and these are the types of races here where there's some familiar names in the running lines. We've got some early speed. We'll take a look at the scratches in here. I do not have a scratch, but we do have a rider change on the 1. Michael Sanchez aboard the 1, Flat Out Phoebe. Michael Sanchez, you're going to see him quite a bit more, it does seem like. But in race 2, where'd you go here at this 1 mile?
I went to the outside horse, the number 8 Thrilling Baby for Lou Linder and Frankie Pennington. This horse is just dropping into the right class ranking, in my opinion. The horse is a little cheaper than what they were running it for, but the horse was still competing. And the fact that the horse was still competing at tougher and then dropping in with the class relief, I think this horse should run bigger today.
How much does that come into part? Class drop for you, is that one of the biggest moves that you see? For me, it's a big handicapping angle. It's something I approach pretty consistently.
Yeah, especially at the tracks that have a lot more claiming races than allowance races. They have horses that are running against similar horses every time out, and this horse is going to need that drop. You know, some horses, they don't need the drop. They just keep running the same race in the same levels, and that's fine. But some horses, they can improve on the up and improve on the down.
Oui, madame. You threw in a little bit of a price in there. Anthony Nunez, 10-1. What'd you like there?
Well, that's another horse that's improving, that should improve going up in class. This horse is jumping up from 75 to 12.5. And Anthony Nunez is really giving this horse a lot of good rides at good prices. And granted, those were for a little bit cheaper, but when I see Anthony Nunez stick with this horse, the connections that are smaller, they jump it up in class, they put these horses in the right spots. I think this horse could hit the board at a big price.
Feel like it's spread race in the multi-legs? I mean, if you're playing a double or pick 3s, pick 4s?
I think you could get by with your A horses. But if you wanted a good price, this could be a price. You know, maybe the 8 dropping in class might not be the best move.
Real quick, what's an A horse, and then we'll jump into race number 3.
The A horse would be your very top pick, and then there's a B or a C that might be your second or third choices.
Race number 3 we get on here, 5.5 furlongs in here, 12.5. Claiming race here, going to sprint this distance, and again, familiar names that we do end up seeing, but you are starting to see some of these horses that are coming in from other circuits. Lou Linder Jr. has been claiming some, brings one over from Canterbury, Peak of Chic. She ran okay as a beaten favorite last time out. You've got this sprinted here. At Hale's got early speed. Miss Canella, she likes to be right out in front. She'll kind of clear off and draw off and see how far she can take him. Where did you land in this one?
I went to the outside horse again in exact for Michael Moore and Paco Lopez. This horse is mostly a turf horse, but has good dirt starts, and the dirt number is actually back into its form, early on in its form. We're actually better numbers than the turf races, in my opinion, and no matter what, this horse goes to the lead. You get Paco Lopez, who's one of the most aggressive riders in the country, and it's hard to beat him when he's on the lead.
Yeah, it's been kind of a newer connection too. You look at the stats, Michael Moore and Paco Lopez. I feel like they teamed up a lot more, but they really haven't, the numbers say, but they're hitting at about 40 or 50% when they team up.
Yeah, I agree. And then just to pivot to my second pick, which was my top pick last time out for this race, which was Peak of Chick for Lou Linder and Dexter Haddock. Lou Linder's second time over the park surface with a horse that's coming in from a different circuit, usually they improve.
Yeah.
And this horse is coming in, first time out, ran a pretty good race, but just a little bit empty. And then they haven't worked the horse since. They have worked the horse since, and it was a good workout, so I think this horse might be more prepared today.
Turf to dirt has not always been a winning angle for me. I agree with you, though. I did look some of the dirt form there for exact. Maybe we catch that 3-1. I think might go a little bit lower with the connections we'll end up seeing, because this race, it does look open. I think you can go in a lot of different directions, but this horse does like to win. It's had a nice year in 2021 over the turf mainly, but we'll see what happens there in race number 3. Out of those first top 3, which race did you feel the strongest about?
I think it might be the third race.
Okay.
I think that exact might be the horse out of the first 3 races that might be the easiest winner.
Plenty of ways that you can wager right here on site at Parks East, of course, but there's also different wagering platforms, and we got that new Parks Racing mobile app. So here, learn about more, and we'll come right back.
Coming soon, an enhanced Parks Racing mobile app. The improved Parks mobile app will feature biometric login through fingerprint or face ID. View wagering information before building your wager. Customizable viewing options. Hands betting and transaction history. Helpful tips. And much more. The enhanced Parks mobile app, now available.
Track announcer Chris Griffin back here with Rdesinski here on Out of the Gate. Let's get into race number 4, 6 furlongs, 7,500 non-wearers, a 2 in here, and you take a look at this race. Tough race in here because it's just hard to get zeroed in on one horse. You go with the 5. Tell us why.
I think Cape Cod Sally, second time out for Halim Lee, even though it's limited numbers. Halim Lee usually improves second time out. Silvestri has experience with the horse, and early speed style definitely helps in this track.
Yeah, Cape Cod Sally, I did a video on her, a paddock preview. I'm actually going to pick her underneath, and I'll talk about that later, but you end up on the 5 there in today's 4th. Get into race number 5 and a maiden special weight here at 1 mile and 70 yards, going 2 turns once again. And it's nice to see some of these 2-turn races. To me, I felt like, look, Codependent, Trupia, they come out of that Delaware race. The number came back pretty strong. It looks like Trupia, with mild progression here from start number 1 to 2, will be tough. Did you agree with me and go with the 3 there in race number 5?
Yes, I did. I think Paco Lopez, once again,
I know.
The horse should be a little bit more forwardly placed than it was in its debut.
Yeah.
The local, ownership has a farm, has a private training track, and when they train there and they come in, they're usually a little bit better, get to work out on their own.
It's interesting that you play Codependent there in the 3rd spot. You're going to throw Flim Flam Man in the mix there in the 2nd position. Any reason to that? I mean, it felt like Codependent, well-deserving favorite in here, also going to scratch the number 8 in that race. But why did you take Codependent in the 3rd spot?
Well, it's another, like how Lou Linder does it, and, Jamie Ness. Well, this one is Jamie Ness. Another horse come from Canterbury. First time over the track, Ruben Silvera, these winning owners that, Jagger and Yo Burbs, they win with Jamie Ness, and they make this move often, and the horse has good dirt numbers.
Race number 6, it's going to kick off the Philly Big 5 and a smaller carryover in the Philly Big 5 as somebody hit the Philly Big 5 for over $250,000 last week on a big ticket there that got the single ticket winner home. So we have a smaller carryover going into the Philly Big 5. It starts in race number 6. 10 races on the card this afternoon. Don't forget it's a 50-cent minimum wager with a 15% takeout. Going to scratch the number 6 there. Eden Ridge in today's 6 to kick off that Philly Big 5, but going a mile and a 16th in here, $5,000 claiming race. Again, names that we're very familiar with, horses that you see on this circuit. Andrew, I go to you for your top selection here to kick it off. I felt like you could zero in on quite a few, maybe three runners in here. Who did you side with in today's 6th?
I think this might be one of the toughest races on the card. These cheap races, the cheaper races, they tend to be tough and anything can happen. My top pick is number 9, Silver Fury for Jorge Diaz and Dexter Haddock. I think this horse is just slowly getting back into its form. It has good back form. It hits the board pretty often. Dexter Haddock riding lights out. Nothing really wrong with that horse.
I picked Silver Fury last time out. I was going to stay away in this race. We'll talk more about the late pick 4 sequence coming up, but we're a Jock's agent at one point. Got a chance to hang out and talk to Abner Adorno, talked about his racing career and how he's come from riding at Puerto Rico, and now he's come here to Parks and his entire journey. So let's take a look at that feature that we shot with Abner Adorno here on Out of the Gate.
In 2012, I graduated from Puerto Rico as an exercise rider. Come to Gulfstream Park in Florida in 2013, rode a couple races. Come back to my country, start my buck career up there. So 2014 I started riding for like two and a half years, almost 3. 16, rode a couple, stop again, and actually Juan Vasquez, training here at Parks, called me, you want to come here, work for me as an SSR rider, right? I wasn't riding that much. So he invited me here, I came here, start going from there, start working for him, work for him for like about a year and a half. Then work for Alfredo Velasquez, couple more months, get the opportunity from people, and we start going little by little at the end of 17, and now we're here.
Abner Adorno talks about the connections he's made and the moment when things started going well as a journeyman.
2019, Danny Velasquez started riding me like in a bunch of better horses, right? And I started doing good with him, and we clicked pretty good. And I think that was the point when I say, this is getting serious. I gotta start like going more and more and more. I find an agent, his name was Out the Lab. So he started helping me. I started riding for a lot of people, started riding for pretty much everybody here in the backside, which was cool, It was a little rider becoming to get better and better.
I asked Abner what a day off is like for him during the racing season.
A day off here, you receive a call, and you have to come in because you want to keep your people happy. I'm a worker. That's my main thing. I work. One of my skills, work hard. It will pay off, and it's paying off right now.
It has paid off as Abner is near the top 5 in the jockey standings at Parks. But earlier this year, COVID changed plans up a little for not only Abner, but also his family.
Last year, before the COVID, I was doing really good, and everything stopped, and I was in my house like, what's going on? I talked to my wife, I say, Maria, what's going on? I can't believe this. So after the COVID, I decided to go to Delaware. Actually did pretty good, finished 4th in the standings, and now we're here. I
asked Abner what advice he has for younger jockeys trying to launch a successful career.
I just will say, like, work, and never give up, I was the kid that used to give up. I got married, I got my kids, and now I'm a hustler. I want to do good, and thank God for all the opportunities, all the trainers, all the owners, again, that they give me the opportunity to keep doing what I love, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, One word, work. That's it.
Shout out again to Abner Adorno as he got a chance to share with us kind of his history and his career. And he's climbing up that leaderboard. He's been riding very well, and he's been getting in some good barns.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be hard to catch Ruben, but he's going to hit the top 5, and I think that this has definitely been his best year of his career since coming to the States.
Continued success there to Abner Adorno. Let's get into the late pick 4, Andrew, here, and let's talk about race number 7, 10,000 N1X. We've seen this claiming level before. Where did you end up in here to kick off that late pick 4?
I went to the 10, Mucho Macho Eddie for Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera. This horse just ran second before being put on a little bit of a layoff in the same exact condition. And I think, that effort was pretty game, and I think that today with the added rest, this horse should be able to.
Race number 8, you said race number 6, toughest race on the card. This is a really competitive race here, race 8. There's some good horses in here, especially sprinting. I end up on Johnny Ridd. I felt like a pretty good performance, and I'll talk about that in the live show when we get into racing and handicap that race. But you end up with another horse in here, so make a case for the number 8, Milton the Monster.
Yeah, Milton the Monster ran a monster effort last time out. Granted, it was on the slop, but this horse isn't even really a slop or wet surface horse. This horse actually kind of prefers the fast track. And since joining John Surface's barn, this horse has been running lights out, and I think this horse can keep it up.
Yeah, this horse is in hand. You can see in this effort, he did do it over a wet surface, but this was his second start there for John Surface, and he just draws away. He wins impressively. He's geared down. He's got plenty in the tank here. He's running against some really tough horses in this race. He does seem to trip out, though, and when I say that, it just seems like he'll stalk right off of those pace setters. It's interesting. I end up on Johnny Ridd. Frankie Pennington rode the horse last time, now ends up on the 8, Milton the Monster. Do you think that there's something pretty special here with Milton the Monster to the outside?
I think this horse is just getting better every start, and I wouldn't be surprised if this horse keeps it up and ends up in small stakes races.
Race number 9, we get into the late double in here, and hopefully Andrew's brought you some winners throughout the day, so you've got plenty of cash to sit on here to attack that late double. But 5.5 furlongs allowance race, another nice race here in the sequence as we get into those later sequences. I'll go through scratches and changes as we're getting tight on time here, but Secret Banker is scratched. That was my top pick. Where do you end up in here? You go down towards the inside here, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I like the 3, My Best Friend for Harold Weiner and Jamie Rodriguez, and Jamie Rodriguez should be picking up more mounts here too as Delaware has ended. Okay. And this horse just really dominated last time out. I mean, he had to work a little bit, but should be able to improve again. Yeah,
we'll see if the 3 can get the job done there. 5 to 2 on the morning line. Probably goes a touch shorter. Secret Banker not in there. Also takes some pace presence out of there, so maybe makes the lead a little bit easier, but there is some early speed in there. I didn't see a whole lot of horses passing horses in the lane, so I think that's something to keep an eye on here in this race. Race number 10 to close things out, 1 mile the distance. Send us out with a winner, young Andrew.
We're going to take a little bit of a price here with Bluegrass Smile, number 7 for Scott Lake. Coming into a new barn, Paco Lopez once again should be a little bit more forwardly placed and should improve off the claim.
Andrew, amazing. Quickly got through with it. See?
Always a
all that preparation, all that work, and then it just flies right by.
Yep.
Andrew Rdesinski, you can catch him where again? Give us everywhere we can find you, your selections, your picks, everything.
Yep, it's all on Twitter, PhillyBoy415. I do daily articles for In the Money Media on their website, and local podcasts or whatever. I'm always around. I'm always available.
Favorite moment from the Breeders' Cup that you watched over the past weekend?
I think Japan winning 2 races for the country. First wins and whatnot, and good prices too.
Young and up-and-coming handicapper Andrew Rdesinski here, track announcer Chris Griffin. We got full scratches and changes, the national anthem, all kinds of great things coming up as we kick off another week of live racing here at Parks. This is Out of the Gate. We'll see you back here next Monday with another episode. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy this live racing.